Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marshall Occurrence reigning back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy, psychic power, anti to all of that. And I work with America, so that's how it is and what it is. All right, so in the videos before this, we covered about America killing their own children, uh, Christians so docile here, as as far as when it comes to war, they're just docile, and it's not the proper way. You have some preachers that are coming out about things that they taught people improper things they taught, but this is also another one, because they've depended solely on the military, and they've depended on um, the police to fight their physical wars, and what I obviously what we see is in other countries, you know, the all civilians and everybody fight wars. Everybody got guns. It's nothing for certain countries, not all countries, but certain countries. It's not anything for them to have weaponry. It's common. It's common, and as long as those examples are out there, my logic makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And my logic is that everybody should be armed. You know what I mean? And I'm always armed. I'm always ready. You know what I'm saying? In some form of fashion. You know what I'm saying? It's just nobody, they think they playing with me, but they not. Obviously not. You see I'm here making videos. You see I'm in good. There's nothing going on with me. And I'm not depending on anyone. If they out there thinking they're doing something for me, it's all in their heads. I didn't tell them to do it. I didn't tell them to protect me. I never did. So they took it upon themselves to think they're joining me, and I need to address that. In this situation where America is dying because of what they've done, that's really the crust of the whole situation. They're dying for what they have done. They're dying for what they have done, and in the middle of that, you got people that think that they're joining my side. Let me explain something to you. I don't deal with any Americans. First of all, my alliance is with Russia. I don't deal with any Americans. I've been failed by Americans more times than I can count. More times than I can count. So, while you were playing, and while most of you all was playing and doing your own thing, you underestimated my power to think outside of what you was doing. That's a 7. You underestimated my ability to think outside of what you are doing and to outthink you outside of what you are doing. You underestimated all of that. Now I got networks with the Russians. I network with Russians. I'm outside of America already. So while you thought you was 10 steps ahead of me, how? How? You ain't ahead of me. Because all of that's finna be destroyed. You're on the brink. America is on the brink of war with Russia, who I stand with. I tell you openly, I ain't like Donald Trump. I'm telling you to your face. Ain't nothing you can do about it. It's not a crime. As long as I'm not doing spy operations or military operations for the Russians, there's nothing you can say. Hey, what you gonna say? What is the crime? In other words, because I don't work for your government. I do not work for your government. I do not have a government job. So for me to solely just be in alliance with with Russia is not a crime. For me to be in alliance with Russia is not a crime. You hate it because, you know, it's not, I'm in alliance with someone else. Too bad. Unfortunately, that's how life goes. You play with people, they join your enemies. You play games like I'm somebody to play with. Now you understand where I'm at. Now you see the grown man in me. Now you see the grown man in me when you look around and I'm with the Russians. You thought I was just gonna sit here and let you play with me like you bullying me? You thought I was gonna let you just have that image of me to the people, and the people think I'm like that. You thought I was just gonna stand there and let you do that. How about now? I'm in alliance with the Russians. I'm telling them everything, your laws. That's not top secret information. They should know about your laws. The laws that you have 44 states marrying children. The laws that same-sex marriage is in all 50 states. Russia doesn't have same-sex laws for marriage. They don't marry same-sex people. See, so you started a war. I'm ending the war. Let's understand that. You are the catalyst to this destruction, not me. You are going to be the catalyst for World War III. The Illuminati and dumb Americans. Those are going to be the catalysts. The dumb black Americans, dumb white Americans, and dumb Mexicans. They all going to be the catalyst for World War III concerning America. And America is going to be the enemy this time. As far as World War III, it ain't going to be the Nazis. It ain't going to be Germany. America is going to play that position as like a Nazi Germany. Because people are starting to see that you are the aggressor in every situation. You're the aggressor against me. I don't have any. You see any weapons and nuclear bombs? See any weapons of mass destruction? You can't be serious. I ain't letting nobody play with me like that. I'm with the Russians now. I'm with the Russians. And you can take me seriously, or you can sleep on me, and I'll win. That's what's been happening. You've been not taking me seriously. You've been sleeping on me, and I've been winning. Look at the state of your country over other people. You have COVID-19. This is something you want to ignore, but you have COVID-19 more than anybody else. No other country has COVID more than America. Yeah. While you getting used to it, or you think you're getting used to it, you got COVID more than everybody else. You got more deaths from COVID than anybody else. You got 1 million deaths. Something you didn't put out for weeks after it was official. I go on the actual site that show the deaths. When there was 1 million deaths, the CNN, NBC, all of them was embarrassed and ashamed to actually report it. They talking about near 1 million. It wasn't near. It was already officially 1 million. And it's probably more than that. It's probably way more deaths than that. But officially, for what they counted, it was 1 million for weeks. And they didn't even publicize it, but they publicized everything else. Because they was embarrassed. Because they know that a lot of them know that this is an act of God. This is an act of war against them from God, because they kept playing games. You kept playing games with the world. You thought you was bad, but how about now? Man, come on, you can't be serious. All they're trying to do is save face. Look at it for what it is. All that driving around stuff, what does it get accomplished? I'm still good. My mind is still good. I'm in war mode. This is how I'm supposed to think. This is how I'm supposed to talk. Right? Okay then. But what are they doing? What are they manifesting? Nothing. All they wanted to look like to the public is that they're being relentless, and they're riding and they're sliding. You're riding and sliding, but you ain't doing nothing though. You're riding and sliding, but nothing is manifesting. You know, the only thing that's manifesting is your destruction. More death, monkeypox, COVID-19 with different variants. That's what's manifesting. Mass shootings, that's what's manifesting. Inflation, that's what's manifesting, which it probably will pop up some other kind of way and be worse than ever before. Gas prices, that's what's been manifesting. And if you don't have all the solutions when God brings the wrath, I guarantee you, it's going to keep coming. God's going to keep coming until you lose. I know people did not expect America to go like this, because you thought America was bulletproof. You thought nothing could happen to this country. You thought nothing could infiltrate this country. You thought nothing could defeat the American community, because they told you this was the greatest country in the world. Well, look at what you have now. You have COVID-19 all in your head more than anybody else, and you the greatest country in the world. So why you got COVID more than everybody else did? you the one of the first countries popping up with monkeypox. That part. You were in the top 5 of countries that first got it. Yeah. See, that's the problem. People demonize all the all of American enemies. All of American enemies are not evil people. All the people that oppose this country are not evil. I'm not evil. I'm in war. And I'm letting God handle the battles. You understand? That's the difference between me and what they saying I am, and all these different demonic, these demonizing images. It ain't nobody no devil here. I'm not perfect, but they try to make these false images like you're a demon or you're a demon. I'm more closer to God than these same-sex marrying people. Let's get that understood. I don't care if I was doing it yesterday. Your reality is your reality, right or wrong. What your reality got to do with mine? And the reality is your same-sex marriage is causing a curse on this country, and is and one of the very reasons you're defeated. And I don't care if I do it or somebody else do it, you still have that same reality that is your destruction, and God is not with you. In other words, I ain't got nothing to do with your destruction, whether I'm doing same-sex stuff or not. You still got your reality is your reality. That's the beautiful thing about reality. You can't beat it. It speaks for itself. Your reality is your reality. Ain't got whether I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Your reality doesn't change whether I'm doing it with you. If I'm doing it with you or not, your reality is still your reality. See how people so easily sidestep what's really being said? See how so easily people sidestep the real issues at hand? You want to shift the blame and talk about me. Let's talk about you with these children, marrying children in 44 states. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I didn't make you do it. How's it an act of war from me when you're the one passing the laws? I'm just educated enough and smart enough to go to war with you with your own information. With your own information. That's what makes this war so unique. How you going to be mad at me for what you're doing? You lose, man. I live in reality. You lose. You wish my reality was like yours, so you could have something. You don't have nothing on me. You don't have nothing. If you think that psychological stuff is working, it's not working. It's not enough for God. It's not enough for common sense, everyday people. But you do have something that everyday people will have a problem with. You got 44 states with child marriage. Guarantee the gay community don't like that. Much as they like to be up under children and like to babysit children and all of that. Hey, I bet you some of these gay people don't like the 44 states marrying children, now do they? So see, when the rubber meets the road, I got everybody on my side. That's why I'm winning. That's why I'm on top. And you don't have to say I'm on top. You don't have to call me a leader. I make it clear. I can show you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than they can tell you. I can show you better than all these people running their mouth. Because 44 states marrying children is the end of America. You trying to trivialize it and make it minute. It's not minute. It's not minute. It's not minute. You can't make this minute. You can't trivialize 44 states with child marriage in America when no one knew it was here or the mentality thereof was here. No one even knew Americans thought to marry children. Anybody knew this the way Americans thought? Anybody knew it. So you just knew America loved to marry children. Not the age of consent. That's one law. I'm talking about marrying children. Taking them home in marriage. That's what I'm talking about. Did you know this is the way your American government thought? Did you know this is the way your American community behaved? Did you know this is the way your American citizens behave, was to marry children? Because some of them doing it. I don't care what you say. Somebody's doing it. And they may not want their information. Their information may be hidden from the public just for their own safety. You got to think about it. Think about it now. Their information, and this information, I don't trust to be revealed to the American community because they know how crazy Americans are. So if it's known that you are married to a child, you don't think they're gonna find you? You don't think there's some Americans that will try to find you in this day and time with internet access and all of that, and GPS and all of that, and all of the ways they can find out and track you? Okay, do you think the American government is just gonna publicize that you married a child? Think about it. We don't know. We don't know how they go about this. It might not be totally hidden, but it might be slightly hidden to where most people overlook it. Let's put it like that. Now you heard what I said. Slightly hidden so that nobody can they usually find stuff like that, documents like that, can't find them. See, what you got to understand is I'm really on God's side. That means when God rides, I ride. God ain't feeling this and you know it. You are just down in the human experience where you try to get along no matter what happens with Americans. God is not down in no human experience trying to get along with America at all costs. You are. You the one doing that. I'm not doing that either. Because I'm riding with God. I'm sliding with God. I ain't riding with y'all. If you still standing with America, I am not your friend. I don't care if you rappers. I don't care if you singers. I don't care what you are. I'm looking at the alliance butt naked, and that's what it is. If you too stupid to see 44 states is marrying children, and no one in this country thinks like that, but then you trivialize it and make it minute in your mind, then I can't be in alliance with you. When you sit up and try to trivialize it and make it seem like it's nothing. When you got crazy people out here running around looking for child molesters, vigilantes. You see them, they set up fake profiles and try to find these people that's doing it, right or wrong. So if that's out there, just imagine the whole mentality out there. But yet you don't have that mentality when I tell you 44 states is marrying children. You don't have that mentality, do you? You know why you don't? I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I can help you see yourself, because maybe some of you people can't see your own mind. I'm gonna tell you what it is. What it is you so embarrassed and ashamed that your country is marrying children in 44 states that you can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it. You can't even bring yourself to accept the reality. I don't care what you do. You can't change. I don't care what you try to do to me. You can't change your reality. It's going to come up. It's going to come up some kind of way. And see, what I've learned to see from the Word of God and from, the perspective, what is it? This is I've been influenced by the Word of God to understand certain things about the conscience. If something is against your conscience, it is sin. So another country might not do it, but it's sin to Americans. And I'm going to let that resonate. That's a 7. Yeah. It's a sin to you. It's a sin to your country. It's a sin to your culture. It's a sin to your conscience as a one unit community. Marrying children is a sin to America. Marrying children is a sin to America. I don't care. That's the conscience of America. Now, if you're slow, say you're slow. But as far as psychology, child marriage is a sin, a violation, wrong, as far as morals to the American culture and community. So it's a sin to you, even though you're trying to ignore it. It's a sin to your country, even though 44 states got child marriage. It's a sin to you. Well, ain't no American around here talking about it's okay. Ain't no American out here willing to let their child be married. And see, you looking at other countries because that's convenient for you. You always, let me stop you right there though, because you always talk, especially military, you always talk about how you the greatest country in the world. You always talking about that. So then why do you need to compare yourself to anybody else? That's a 7. Hey, if you're the greatest country in the world, you shouldn't have to compare yourself to anybody, should you? Now, should you? You shouldn't have to compare yourself to anyone if you're the greatest country in the world. There should be no comparison, right? There should be no comparison. So then why are you comparing yourself like we're insulting my intelligence when we talk about something, the evils that you're doing, the destruction that you're bringing on us, and because of the evil, when we talk about these things, you want to bring up other countries. But you don't do it when you talk about how great you are, now do you? But you want to bring up other countries when it comes to talking about child marriage. When you want to talk about sex with children, when we talk about it, you want to bring up other countries. But I would accept this mentality if you did it on all tables. You don't do it. The first thing you say, well, there's nowhere like America. You have freedoms. You have freedoms that you don't know about. For who? White people or Africans? Africans still get shot down. Africans still get incarcerated unjustly. Africans still suffer all types of persecutions here. So what are you talking about when you say freedom? Freedom for who? Is what I ask. Liberties for who? When you can have everything going for yourself and still get shot down. You can have everything going for yourself and still get shot down. You're not look, let me tell you something. I don't care how you take it. Ain't none of y'all comparable to me. Ain't none of y'all can see me. Ain't none of y'all better than me. I don't care how much you work. I don't care what you have. I don't care if you're in a better state of mind than me. You are not nowhere comparable to me. Okay? I'm in a whole different lane from all of y'all. Either you're passing laws for children to have sex or be married. All of it, really. Sex and the marriage part. You're either doing that, passing laws for child marriage, or you're ignorant to it. You don't even know nothing about it. You're not even educated on it. So how are you comparable to me? You're beneath me. And I don't have to be a king. I don't have to be a leader. I can be homeless and you're still beneath me. That's how confident, that's how tangible and real it is. It doesn't matter what financial status I got. You are still beneath me. You don't know what I know. This is not some trivial pop quiz information that you learn off some 80s card game. This is talking about marriage in 44 states in America. And if your whole culture doesn't know it, which they don't, Your entertainment people don't know it. All these singers and rappers, and they don't know nothing about it. Your Obama didn't tell you nothing about it. He brought 2 children to the White House. He didn't even tell you nothing about it. The age of consent has never been at 18 in all 50 states. So your country has never totally honored children, which all you care about. This is all you care about. That's why I'm telling you, it's a sin to your country to do this. Everybody else, I don't know, because some people don't know better. Some countries actually don't know any better. They're that ignorant. They are that ignorant where their culture has been being with children, working them, sexing them, and everything. And they just never had anyone confront them or show them any other way of living. It's almost like subhuman living. No disrespect. But you are Americans that God has brought you up to a certain way of thinking and awareness of what is correct and what is not correct. And therefore, it is a sin to you because you know what is correct and not correct. You can't use other people's cultures from other countries. You can't use it. You can't use the culture of Yemen or any other place in the Middle East, or you can't use it. You have understood what age is acceptable for a man to marry and have sex with a female. You have come to an awareness of what is acceptable. Because the brain doesn't stay in the same place as far as history goes. So as far as history goes, you have evolved to a place where you understand what acceptable age it is to have sex with a female. Now, because of that evolution, there's also consequences if you violate what you have evolved to. So if you evolve in a certain society to the point where you know certain things are wrong, you don't think you're going to be held accountable because you can say, well, back then. No, you have evolved as a society. And there are certain things that are crimes that were not crimes before. Right or wrong. So everyone wants to talk about evolution, but you can't talk about it intelligently. You don't really know the crust of it. The crust of evolution is that your mind has evolved. So if your mind has evolved, then you can't have the same set of consequences that you had before you evolved. Right or wrong? So we can't, so even though you evolve and you come to a higher level of understanding of what is right and wrong, we still gonna hold you to the old accountability, the old standard. We're gonna hold you to the old standard. But although your mind has evolved to understand on a higher level of what is correct and what is not correct, because let's understand this: God is infinite in knowledge and information and wisdom. Some things we're doing is still incorrect before God. So that means even though you didn't know it, it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean you were right. So even whatever you're doing, in other words, it doesn't mean you're correct. You just haven't evolved. So now that you have, how far back you want to go? We can go back to the Stone Age, okay, where certain things wasn't understood. Ice Age, any age you want to go to. And so when you do evolve, now you have a new set of consequences. Whether they be good consequences or bad consequences. And you can't, and what you're trying to do subtly is hold on to the old standard concerning child marriage and child sexuality interacting with adults. No, you know all the way better that your whole country and culture has evolved with understanding what is acceptable as far as the age for having sex uh, as far as interaction with adults, with children. We all understand now. We have evolved here. I'm not gonna say God made us evolve. Maybe God did, because His people are here. Maybe we influenced this evolution. But however we got here, I know I've influenced it by what I've been doing lately. But however we got here, with understanding what is acceptable, unfortunately, America was already there anyway, so they can't act like they wasn't, and there's consequences. You're in deep trouble. You're in deep trouble. It is forbidden, as far as the evolution of the mind here in America, to touch children. It's forbidden. It's extremely forbidden in your culture, just in case you're trying to hide it. Just in case you forgot this. It's extremely forbidden. So how you got 44 states marrying children when it's extremely forbidden in your American community? I think it's time for consequences. That's what I think. You've been outthought. You've been outsmarted. You've been outfoxed. Because there's no way you're gonna sit here and try to trivialize this and ignore this. I'm aware of that psychology. You're not gonna be able to do that this time. You're not gonna be able to sit here and ignore what I'm telling you. If you do ignore it, you're gonna wake up in full-blown war and full-blown revolution. It's too much of a contradiction to the American community and culture. It's too much. And then you got 44 states. If it was 2 states